I've been hearing a lot about Nima, a gluten sensing device that's a finalist in the South by Southwest Interactive Innovation Awards. 6 Sensor Labs is having a gluten-free happy hour tonight to demo the device, so I'm here to see what all the hype's about. This is Nima, a portable sensor that lets you test gluten while you're on the go. I'm here with 6 Sensor Labs CEO Shireen Yates, who's going to explain to us exactly what this is and how it works. So tell me the science behind Nima and what it's looking for.
Yeah, so Nima is basically like a portable lab that you carry around in your pocket. And what you can do is take a sample of food, you put it in this disposable one-time use capsule. This capsule has a bunch of chemistry that we've been innovating on for the past 2 years that allows you to take a sample of food from a complex food matrix, from pretty much anything solid, liquid, and then the action of closing it grinds the food and triggers the chemistry. The chemistry is an antibody-based chemistry and allows us to very accurately detect at least 20 parts per million in the sample. Then you take that pod and put it in the sensor, turn it on, and in a few minutes you know whether or not that sample contained that very trace amount of protein that you're looking for.
Tell me how the test strip works exactly.
So the test strip is coated with these antibodies that our team actually developed, and they're really sensitive and specific to the protein that we're looking for, which means they're not going to cross-react with other grains like corn or rice. They're going to really target what the target is, which is gluten in this first product.
Okay. All right, we're ready to test.
Let's do it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're at this event. You know, we're not really sure if it's gluten-free. They said it's gluten-free, but let's just make sure it's Nima recommended. Okay. So we take a sample of food, super small, using celery as my vehicle, and then you basically take that sample, take the top, grind it down, and then the action of closing it grinds it all the way. You hear that pop, that initiates the chemistry, and then we're going to slot it right into this sensor, turn it on, and you should start seeing it processing.
So on average, Nima takes about 2 minutes to run the test.
And it'll just give us a yes/no indication on the device.
Okay.
And it's also Bluetooth connected.
So when you test something for gluten, you said that it sends the data to the app, so you don't even have to be looking at the device.
Right.
So what other features does the app have?
So the app will allow you to tag what you're eating, where you're eating, and then share that test result with a community of other people who have similar dietary restrictions. So imagine when you're going out to eat, you can get a whole data set that goes beyond the menu or beyond the Yelp review. It's actually data on what is actually being tested. And as we think about our future product lines, we really feel like all of these data points are creating a whole internet of food that just doesn't exist today.
Okay, so you'll be able to search for a restaurant in Nima to see which dishes are...
Exactly. Yeah, and in San Francisco, actually, we've also done some Nima recommended restaurants, you know, based on the test results that we're seeing from users and even from restaurateurs testing their own food.
And so how do you know exactly when it's done and whether it has gluten in it?
Yeah, so when it's done, it will give an indication on the front. It'll give a smiley face if it's gluten-free and a sad face if there's gluten. That indication will also be captured on your phone, so you can see if it's run. And if you miss it, you know, if you're in conversation or talking, you can always go back to that result. So it's a smiley face.
Okay.
So gluten-free, good to go. I will enjoy this hummus and feel a lot better about eating it.
Okay, so tell me who would want a product like this? Is it just for people who are allergic to gluten, or tell me the kind of person who would use it?
So the way we think about Nima is providing an extra layer of data for anyone who's actively avoiding gluten and whatever their motivation is. You know, I think that there are different reasons that people want to avoid it, and it's very hard to avoid. It's a sneaky protein. It happens to just come into a lot of different foods, and it's really hard to detect. So the motivation to us doesn't matter as much as if people are really actively trying to avoid the protein, we want to give them better data to do so.
Okay, and are people mainly using it at home or while they're out at restaurants?
That's a great question. We assumed that the most frequent use case would be at a restaurant where people are unsure. You know, we hear the term Russian roulette over and over again from our users, that they're not sure what they're going to get. Yeah. But what's interesting is we have a beta test running right now, and we've done a few of them in the past few months. and we found that people, as much as they're testing restaurant food, are also testing packaged foods. Packaged foods that might not have a label that's specifically this is gluten-free, but all the ingredients are naturally gluten-free. We've also found that people may want to test if it's even labeled gluten-free, but maybe they've reacted to that product before. So I think that it really depends on your lifestyle and where you're consuming most of your food.
So tell me about your future plans. Are you going to go beyond gluten, or this is it?
Nima is really a starting point for gluten. Gluten is our starting point, and it's because there's estimated 20 million people in the US who have that physical reaction to the gluten protein. But beyond gluten, we're on track to launch peanut and dairy sensors in 2017, and our plan is to really hit all the major proteins that people are reacting to, that people are allergic to or sensitive to. And then eventually, we really want to just create the product suite, so whatever you're concerned about, whether it's sugar or salt, that we can provide a solution for you that's customized for your needs. That's the grand vision of the future of the product.
So if you're diabetic, you'll be able to test anything for a specific amount of sugar or whatever.
That's our vision.
Okay. Tell me about the capsules. Nima is obviously, this is the product that you buy, but what about the capsules?
So the capsules are a one-time use capsule, and part of that is because they're really challenging. Once you run the chemistry, it runs, and it's done, and you throw it out. And you get a subscription of these capsules, so we're starting with 12 capsules a month. We think people will use the product around 3 times a week is what our data has shown. So that's how it works.
And how much will they cost?
The capsules are costing $3.99 per capsule, and you'll get those in a pack of 12, so about $48 a month, depending on the frequency of how often you want to use it.
Well, thanks so much for all the info. Can you tell us when and where it'll be available?
Absolutely. So you can actually pre-order Nima right now at nimasensor.com. That's Nima sensor.com. And it's available for a discount. You can buy it for $1.99. And then at retail, it'll be available for $2.49, and we're planning to launch it later this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.